Meeting on the old. Do do. We're going to a meeting. Oh, gosh, you need it. Meeting on the old. Ladies, say it this way. Oh, amazing grace. How sweet the sound. Hey, that's it. A wretch like me. I was lost. Oh, but now I'm found. Talking about a meeting. Come on, we're going to a meeting. Oh, that's a meeting. Meeting on the earth. Y'all ready to go? Let's go. We're going to a meeting. Oh, that's a meeting. Yeah. Meeting on the earth. Let's go, boy. Hey, at the meeting. At the meeting. They'll be singing at the meeting. They'll be shouting at the meeting. There'll be joy at the meeting. Hey, are you going to the meeting? Hey, are you going to the meeting? Tell me, are you going to the meeting? Tell me, are you going to the meeting? Hey, at the meeting, there'll be a revival, household salvation, miracle. Meeting. At the meeting.
Even if it's late,
At the meeting.
after breakfast time,
We will meet.
we'll still drink the tea.
We will meet.
At the meeting,
We will meet.
at the meeting,
We will meet.
at 2:22,
At the meeting.
at the meeting,
We will meet.
and drink tea.
And drink tea, Lord.
At the meeting.
And drink tea, Lord.
Oh, good afternoon, good afternoon. Listen, Delton, we can't even fake it today. It's afternoon.
Oh, it's good.
It's
enough.
afternoon.
It's good enough to do.
It's good, but it's a good afternoon, though.
It's good.
Good in the afternoon, and it is a good afternoon.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to Blue
How are you
93.9
doing?
FM. Indeed, your favorite gospel station. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those listening via the 93.9 FM frequency, we do apologize a bit earlier. We had some technical issues that we had to sort out. Luckily, our tech team was on site, and they were able to resolve said issues.
Our tech team were working feverishly
to restore all issues. And so right now, we are up and running back on 93.9 FM frequency. We're back running on TuneIn Radio. And so we welcome all of you from all over the world, wherever you are. Welcome to Blur 93.9 FM. Welcome to That Good Morning Tea, a show brought to you by hot beverages from all around the world. For those listening on Facebook, you can't see us as yet, and we are aware.
Delton always tries to do like a big reveal. We ready? Ready.
So if you are listening via radio, please know that we are also live streaming on Facebook and YouTube on Glory 93.9 FM, as well as Vera and I's personal Facebook page. Which is Delton Rule and Vera Aqua Wilson. That's Aqua with a C. And
an H. C and an H.
Where it goes, you figure it out. Where does the C and H go? You figure it out.
Oh,
at the meeting. Hey guys, welcome.
Hi everybody.
Hey, how's it going? We're here.
So today, the ladies of Life Worship Center, the church that runs.
You go ahead and see what happens.
I must do. Hold on, Delton. Sorry, I did not know we were. No. Let me say what I'm saying before I get distracted, and then you can speak. The Ladies of Life Worship Center, the church that hosts, owns, directs, projects Glory 93.9, held a ladies' prayer brunch which was off the chain. But because so many of our DGMT fans, faithful, loyal DGMTers, were at the prayer brunch, it was only right that we held our show after that. So that's the only reason we're late. We would have been here at 11:30. Would have been right on the dot. However, to accommodate our faithful fans, we decided to postpone our beninging till later in the afternoon. So come on in the room. Come on in the room. And this is why I stopped singing because I don't know the rest of the song. Something about Jesus being the doctor. Y'all come on in.
Yeah,
come on in. Take a seat. So thank you for being patient with us. Those of you that were patient. Those of you that weren't patient.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Mary Lightborn Walker. She's here. Good morning. Angelica Roll is here saying morning. Dana say you thought something happened. No, man, Dana, we good.
Something.
We are good. Sorry, something did happen, but we good. And we here now. Morning.
All is well.
All is well. Wonderful. Rashad, good morning, Rashad, John and Vera, shouting Delton, and Vera. Denisha be in this morning.
She was there.
Did she run?
And no, she didn't, but she gave out a yelp of celebration when
Of
I said
course.
DGMT was starting at 2:00. I think she even waved a napkin in the air a little bit. So Denisha, we really here for you, you know.
Morning, Denisha.
We here for you.
Now the rest people who's at the little shindig.
Some of them have sent me pictures. They're very glad to be listening on the radio because they're only just driving away from the venue. Yeah, they're only just driving away from the venue.
Food at the venue. Probably not.
I wouldn't know. I left early to come to DGMT. I didn't check.
But based upon the crowd and the food levels, did you think I know maybe left?
One thing I know about life, they're never going to throw an event and run out of food now.
Oh no, that's not gonna
I haven't seen it in my 7 years, and I don't think I'll ever see it.
I never see it.
So there's a high likelihood that there was indeed food remaining.
Someone's gonna text my wife.
Oh, Delton, you and I have disappeared off the screen.
She packed me a plate. Oh, who's here?
Oh, okay, they're gone from my screen.
Oh, we did. No, we freeze. Oh.
Can you hear us?
I think it's our internet.
Let me come off the internet.
Yeah, sorry, it's our internet. Our internet is it's sketchy-ish.
Is it us or is it them?
No, it's them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're glad to be here this afternoon. We have to be honest with you, it's a power hour because ministry continues.
So it's on our end. So I guess they didn't see it.
Can they hear us?
I guess they could.
All right.
It's not to be in frozen, so all right.
Oh, okay. Well, we press.
G Longley is here giving us eyes.
Hey, I know, but G Longley, you can't be in two places at once. That's just not possible.
Impossible.
So I'm not sure. And Delton, I'm not going to lie, the level of pressure from our fans, I wasn't built for this celebrity life. I wasn't built for it. And I feel like if this pressure continues, I'm just going to throw in the towel.
Actually, this is earlier.
I'm going to see if I can interview
she's getting to quit.
replacements because I don't like that attitude. The hostility I get on my weekends is too much. In the form of eyes, in the form of, it's too much. I wasn't built for this celebrity life. Pressure just starting very, very good.
Yeah, no, I took off the ledge this morning. She was ready to jump off. She was like, I'm done.
I wonder if Janelle would like to host GTMT with you.
She already declined.
She already declined?
Not hosting with
you
me,
was trying to replace me behind my back?
Just on air, talking on the whole. I tried to get her to talk on air. She's like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it.
The pressure is getting worse.
Wow.
Wow.
So she declined all radio voice, or any kind of voice, anything being heard. Anyway.
Wonderful. But pressure's good. Pressure's good. Pressure is what turns coals into diamonds. Pressure is what cooks tough meat. Pressure is good.
It also boils pipe.
Pressure. She said definitely would be that good night.
Pressure also boils pipe. And so I got a call this morning from my brother, Ambassador Devin. He was like,
he called you?
He called me.
He sent me a paragraph.
He sent me
several, because there were separations. The different points he wanted to make at separation.
So I was like, I think I was getting ready to die. I was getting ready, so I saw the missed call, so I called him back. I thought something happened.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so what time on morning show start? This is after 12. He's like, so what time on morning show start?
I think we should see morning now more figuratively than literally, you know? Morning in the sense that new information is coming to light. It's a new day. Morning in the sense that light is coming to the darkness. I think we should think of morning more metaphorically.
That's the time of our show does not have nothing to do with the subject or the title of our show. Remember that.
Initially,
so when we say
it did.
that good morning tea, what it means is that, you know, if we're waking first thing in the morning, and you have a good cup of tea.
Right.
It's like,
That's what
boom,
this is supposed to feel like.
This is that good morning.
Yes.
That's what the show is.
So I feel like the people who applying pressure need to help us with rebranding, maybe.
So leave us alone. This is what we're trying to say.
Because I like to go back and watch a good old DGMT. Oh, I had a whale of a time.
So I saw.
Because you know what I've noticed?
I definitely saw it.
I love it.
Because you put a laughing face.
You know it. Facebook can say I do that. I didn't do it.
I was sitting down working. I was like,
I didn't put a laughing face at all.
2020.
But what I have discovered is because I would search DGMT in the in the search bar, but our original shows were never under that hashtag. DGMT came later.
Yeah.
So actually, when I searched that Good Morning Tea, the whole catalog from day one came up from that original COVID season, from them times when I was risking it all to drive here on these streets when everybody was locked down, baby, and I had to I had my essential workers ID.
You did.
But I had to explain to the police why I was on my way, like from those times back then. And I realized that our show has we've evolved a lot, we've grown a lot, because ain't nobody had nothing to do back then. Yeah. That's why we could start show at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we had
Delton, you know what late was back then? At 10:30. At 10:30, we were apologizing to people for being late.
It's 10:30. We're so sorry.
Oof.
And then it was like.
And honestly, that's what rejuvenated my sense of resistance. Like, no, it was just a different time. It was a different season. So
yeah, when we started,
we need to speak to the people.
Nothing.
There was nothing. Literally, y'all had nowhere to go.
You could not go anywhere to go. The roads were clear.
But we're gonna work with you and work with the team and work with the Lord.
Yeah, and the management
to bring
staff
you the best show.
Oh, definitely
possible.
When it comes on there, listen to me. It's gonna be amazing. So we're gonna decide on a time frame real soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a time.
But Delton, we're wasting time because this power hour.
Oh yeah.
We're already 11 minutes into the power hour.
And then it's going to have to be a little shorter today too because
ministry calls. Ministry calls.
Anyway, guys.
So for those of you that are celebrating birthdays this afternoon on this day.
Good morning all.
Good morning big, good morning small.
Good morning short, good morning tall.
Good morning. All of
y'all. You can't forget the classics.
I'm sorry. It threw me off.
Yeah, so it's happening so late. All right, so in our church announcements, birthday shout outs, birthday greetings, anniversary greetings, we send happy birthdays to all of those who celebrated last week, who we might have missed. There was someone who we were supposed to get who celebrated on Friday. I don't remember.
Friday just gone?
Yeah, we was like, no, we can get them next week because their birthday's on Friday.
Oh, Leo? Was it Leonardo Clark?
It could be Leonardo.
I think it might have been Leonardo Clark.
He was yesterday. So it could be him.
I think it was him. Yeah. I believe it was him. Gio is today or yesterday?
Gio is today.
I feel like Gio just had a birthday though.
Could have been last year. He might have birthday last year. He might have had a birthday last year. It ain't one of them birthdays, buddy.
They can come back.
They find a way to come back around.
Listen to me. My after a season of fasting, I turned down my plate on my nails. So I've been just going barehanded and I'm going back. And usually at this time of the year, any lady who gets their nails done or has any kind of regular self-care or beauty kind of appointment knows this time of the year it starts to get really busy. People are getting ready for Christmas, end of the year. So you don't wait to the week before Christmas or a couple weeks before your birthday to book your appointment. And I done learned that the hard way too many times. So I was sitting in my bed this morning booking all my appointments in 2-week increments all the way to December, but it wasn't that many. That was the point. The point was when I started to do it, I finished pretty quickly. Like I got to my birthday. Not that it didn't take that many. Not that many appointments left. Yeah. Not that many appointments and not that many paydays till Christmas and birthday and things of that nature. So saints, the year is quickly coming to an end. The year is quickly coming to an end. But we continue to wish those who are celebrating anniversaries, birthdays. I have to give big, huge shout outs to a former student of mine, a beloved mentee of mine in the person of Eden Ellis. I was just with her mommy this morning, Minister Lynette Ellis at Our Ladies conference. Eden Ellis turns 21 today. Wonderful. 21 today. That did something to my heart because
you're old, man. You're sure 21. Legal.
I think the first student I know that I've seen one of them get married. It's true. I've seen 2 get married. seen 2 get married.
That's when you should know.
Interestingly enough, one got married to somebody I went to college with. It was weird. She was very old when she came to young, old. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the story's getting
The
weird.
math is very difficult to math.
This is getting weird.
But then I started teaching when I was 21 too. So it wasn't. I was
All
teaching 18-year-olds when I was 21.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
like,
no.
somebody
The
told
math
me that's
math. But yeah, no, the maths. Because when I was in my final year, she was just starting, and yeah. But anyway, small world. So happy birthday to Eden. I'd also like to send a big, huge happy birthday shout out to my oldest sister Judith, who celebrated. Oh no, I just got it wrong, didn't I? Sorry, my older sister. She celebrates on the 19th, the day we all mourn the Queen, but she will be celebrating, no doubt.
God save the Queen.
So birthday shout outs to Louisa, who celebrates her birthday on Monday.
She's like your real sister you're talking about?
This is my real older sister.
Her name is Louise.
Louisa. All of us have good Catholic names. Louisa, Benedicta,
I thought like
and Veritas. Those are our Catholic names. Our Ghanaian names, Nanaba, Mamiama, and Kukwa. So
that's what I like.
Happy birthday to Louisa, aka Mamiama, who celebrates on Monday. And then my oldest sister celebrates on Wednesday. They're 2 days.
Nice.
So I got mixed up. But they could appreciate that, So happy birthday to Judith. Daddy didn't go Catholic on her even.
Like
Saved. Yeah. Judith, also known as Fa, who celebrates on Wednesday.
That once again, this is just a random question on culture. Y'all do, the Ghanaian names are based on
the day of the week that you're born, right?
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So everybody can have an Anaba in their family.
Yeah, but no, because each day has multiple names. So there's not only one name that you could have. Like there's a root, but that root could be used in different ways.
Got you.
Yeah.
I always get to find out about culture.
I know, right?
Far where I'm from.
Because Ambassador had questions about culture this morning, which apparently we'll be bringing to DGMT.
Yeah,
but anyway, happy birthday to my sisters. Also, I have a sister from another mister. Her name is Nanette DaCosta. She is a dear cousin of mine. Well, we used to call ourselves fake cousins until we realized we were really related. On her dad's side,
nice.
Even though our mums are very good friends. It's a very interesting time of revelation. So happy birthday to her too. I got lots to shout out today. Lots to shout out. Lots of people to shout out. So happy birthday to all of y'all.
I think we did Karate last week. Karate celebrated on Thursday. On Thursday. Pastor David Brennan celebrated also yesterday. Man of God that we're praying for. Just praying for him collectively as a body at Life Worship Center. Anybody else who I got? Wayne Miller, remember Cooper Steris? He celebrated. Oh, that's Wayne. That's Montero older brother.
All right.
On today.
Today, well, happy birthday
and
to
everybody
him.
else who celebrate. I know Brent and Debbie Miller celebrated. I think one of them celebrating today, and the other celebrated on the 15th. I think the wife's birthday is on the 15th, husband's birthday on the 17th. But they ain't listening though. But I see Carrie, so I had to shut that up. That's Carrie parents. So happy birthday to anybody and anybody else we might have missed along the way.
We might have missed. Delton, these views are very low. Is it because the Saints are on the radio?
I ain't on the radio because I got a call from my cousin just now. My cousin said, "Well, no need ambassador who wanted to know what happened to the show because he thought he just continually missed the show because he thought we were off air." It's a lot of shade.
Delton, we're gonna do better. Let's just say it now. We're gonna do better to keep you all abreast. So you got to. Let's make sure. Let's ensure that today all of us are subscribed to Glory 93.9's Facebook page.
Right.
And so we keep ourselves abreast, even their Instagram page, and all the pages of the Saints. Glory 93, 93.m. 93 point.
It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram.
93.m. My goodness.
93.9 FM.
93.9 FM. Are they on TikTok?
I don't know.
Is Glory on TikTok yet?
I don't know if you're on there yet.
All right. Y'all just make sure you subscribe it so you can stay abreast with current affairs. That's what is most important.
I know we have some funny videos and recordings that I think they recorded of us. We have some interns now. We have 2 interns at the station. And they got some nice
clips.
Comedic clip of me the other day. I was live on air and it was thunder and lightning. And I came off air. I was like, it's not going to happen. Yo, nigga shock me in here. No, not on air. It's like, no.
I wouldn't even think about that. It's good to know.
It was thunder and
lightning. So, like, if
it's
thundering and lightning goes off outside, we need to wrap up. Delton, we've done shows through thundering and lightning.
No. I mean,
We've done shows through BPL cut off.
we have had so many issues at the station that we had to get fixed. We straight down because we did have one lightning that took us off the air for months because it struck the tower and struck the building.
The lightning.
And there was like blood coming out. I think like Didi had like blood coming out of my air because she was on the phone at the time, and like my ass was like ringing for day. Oh no, it was serious.
Blood?
Yeah, she had like, little blood. Yeah, no, we had like a serious lightning. That's about 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I think it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, hit the tower. And so now we had to ground the tower, we had to ground the antennas, we had to ground around the area just to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Lessons in setting up your own personal radio
What was so
station.
funny was the guy from the tower. He was like, yeah, one of these lightning strike, you could try ground it, but for some reason, I don't know why we believe to be stronger than God. The way God designed these lightning, sometimes don't get what you do.
Oh, I like it. There is a word.
It's like, I don't
There
care.
is a word
like,
on
trust
today.
me, direct hit from lightning. I don't care what you do. It's like, I don't care.
I don't know why we think we're stronger than God.
It's like,
preaching here, man of God.
It's like, I don't care. You can ground all you want ground, buddy. You just hoping for the best. You like buy all the equipment you want to buy.
As he did the work that you were paying him to do. This is powerful.
It's like you can buy all the equipment you want to buy. Because we spend money on a server protector you attach to the breaker box, like electrical something we put there. He's like, yeah, man, no man, these things, yeah, man, sometimes they work good. So it's under the lightning.
I don't know how I feel about that perspective, sir. But like, thank you for your insight.
Like, yeah, man, go ahead and try.
You know the name Kari Miller?
Yes, Bakari.
Oh,
that's Bakari.
Hey, Bakari. I feel like I don't recognize that name from the comments.
Yeah,
so good to see you,
girl. She in the social media like that.
Oh, okay. Got it. So to all of you who have joined us, a pleasant good afternoon. For all those celebrating, happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy graduation. Shelley's birthday's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Elize. Mm-hmm.
My Facebook didn't say so. She must have deleted me. It's
Oh,
all right.
Awkward.
Happy birthday, Shelley.
Awkward.
It's okay.
Anyway, so that's it for our trip.
She said it is her first time on the live. I knew it was the first time on the live.
On the live, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
welcome, Bakari. Welcome.
So in news and reviews, COVID-19.
Sorry, we still talk about COVID.
I'm still I said the force to wear a mask in the shop the other day, so yes, we are. We're still under some protocols for COVID-19.
Oh my god!
AKA, we have to wear a mask when we go in shops.
When you teach in schools, when you sit in a classroom.
When you teach in schools,
there is an allowance. I mentioned it last week, but
yeah. So we're still under COVID-19 protocols, believe it or not. I went to a shop yesterday to buy a part for my my dryer. And not a employee, not
was wearing
a single one had on a mask.
They were relying on you to wear your mask.
Like I walk with the mask, I felt awkward. I was like, should I take this off? Should I take this off?
As I said, watching old shows, it was just very different. Like even when we had multiple people in the studio and we would attempt to sit socially distanced. It's like,
don't mind how the camera looks, guys.
We just want you to know all of us are far away. Because I was watching the one where it was me, it was one-on-one and we came in and it was literally all of us. Girl Talk was there. DGMT was there on one-on-one. And I was looking, I was like, why was my chair so far away from Pastor King? I was like, like literally it was just a very awkwardly small but big space.
Fake caring about COVID.
We wasn't fake caring. We was trying not to get taken off the air. So we have come a long way. He's brought us this far only by faith.
I went to the shop this morning.
It's still around because we had some students who went to a soccer tournament. Sorry. Where did they go? Somewhere in the Caribbean somewhere or in the States somewhere. Go on 10 days. Looking for them to come back to school because coursework due, book reading, essays getting right. One of them comes back. Where the rest? Oh, they caught COVID. I said, people still catching COVID.
Where you find that?
People still catching COVID. And I mean the kind of COVID that means you stuck in another country.
For what? 3 days, 5 days, 10 days?
I think it's about 5 days.
I don't know the protocol list more for that if you actually have it.
I think it was 5 days.
I walked in another store today. Walked in the store right before we came here to buy our snacks, and you know, like you walk in the store,
I keep yawning.
And automatically you look for the hand sanitizer, and I look on the wall, and there's a security sign in there. There's an employee like right behind the security, and there's a cashier like right there. All them can see me. I was looking around trying to find the sanitizer, and they looking back at me like, "Why you started the door?" I just proceeded to walk on it.
I was gonna sing a song, but it wasn't
because they was like,
"No, we don't do that anymore."
Like, you looking for something? So if you get in the store and buy what you want, buy these cookies and get out of here. Like, if you don't buy any stuff and get out of here, talk about sanitizer. And then the guy who probably security knew me, he was like, "Hey, you say roll?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Bro, I don't know you." Took his mask off. I was like, "Hey, guy, hey, schoolie." But this is where we at now. I was waiting for it. I know it's coming.
Miss Mary,
Especially,
it was
yes, they are
rhetorical. I know.
still
I
getting
know.
COVID. The good thing, most persons are asymptomatic and have the milder form of the disease.
Not asymptomatic enough to stay where they. Well, I guess they had to test to come back.
The test to come back. Yeah,
Why did they have to test to come back?
probably Caribbean. Probably some kind of Caribbean thing.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, let's say unvaccinated. I think unvaccinated, you have to test, don't you?
Julianne said Hood Day Saints. I wonder if she meant that. Knowing Julianne, she could have meant exactly
yeah,
what she
I think
said.
Coming back, and once you're unvaccinated, you have to do tests.
Okay. I guess that's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, we press.
But for y'all
what else is
who
in the
took
news?
the jab, y'all don't have to get tested.
For some of those people who took the jab, that's for many of them, that's exactly why.
That's why they took the jab. Not to get tested.
Anyway, in news and reviews, I saw some good news, and I know Rashad is on the live. Rashad, this is really just for you. I saw that they're giving the teachers a 15% pay rise.
Oh no, Rashad probably knew that from 2 months.
He
ago.
knew that from before.
Rashad knew that 2 months ago.
He probably knew that from before when he got that private call.
Yeah, he knew.
But I want you to know that this administration is in the good books of the people, because teachers getting a raise, everybody getting a holiday. I saw someone say, it said, this administration is very refreshing.
Very refreshing.
The holidays are very nice, and it's exactly what you need to get back into the re-election spirit.
Exactly what we
accurate. Got to do with a lisp. I don't want to do with a lisp because I actually have a lisp, so I don't like to laugh at people with a lisp.
Like, no,
but I said, Mr. Davis, I know the people. They're not too keen on you flying out again to Queen Liz's funeral.
I really want to see the crowd.
But you have just really, you left. You said, I'm gone, but I'm gonna leave y'all with something. Just like Jesus said, I'm gonna go, but I will leave you with a comforter. I will leave you with a help.
This little 15% teacher.
This little 15% here. This day off here. Do you know what the atmosphere in the country was on Tuesday last week, when they announced that Monday was going to be a holiday?
I talked on air. I was like, there's a different air.
Different air. And different. Let me tell you how different it was. I went out for dinner on a school night.
Because you have a holiday
on Tuesday. And afterwards, I was like, why did I do that? I was like, it was the announcement. It was the holiday coming.
I said on air, I was like, people are acting like the holiday's tomorrow. Like, first of all.
Literally.
It's a holiday, like 3
And then we went back to work. I was like, oh, shoot.
3 working days away.
Like 3 working days away. In my establishment where I work, 3:17 on a Friday, the parking lot is empty. 3:33, everybody was there, kiki talking to each other. I mean,
that holiday brought us together.
My colleague, who's always gone like 2:55 because she have to go get her daughter, even she was there. She said, "Oh no, I tell her daddy come for her today." I said, "Look at this. It's a different air. It felt not quite like Christmas, but just a taste, just a taste." And I said, "Bahamians, y'all been living good. Holiday in June, holiday in July, holiday in August, holiday in September. Holiday in October." November, y'all gotta work. Yeah. Y'all gotta actually do work.
We need somebody to go. I don't know. I don't want Christmas one to die.
Man, come on, man.
We can use something in
November, y'all gotta do your jobs. December, y'all get your holidays.
No,
January, you get holidays.
For some reason, although we don't celebrate Thanksgiving like that, we treat Thanksgiving like a holiday.
Yeah, but you still gotta go to work.
We go, but that Thursday, we just try to figure out who get dinner for the cheapest. we really ain't too concerned about work at that.
You learn your lesson though. The cheapest isn't always the best.
Yeah, ain't the best. Neither is the most expensive.
No, you're very correct.
Just gotta find somebody.
I think tried and true. Tried and tested.
You gotta find somebody you know.
Rashad say we need at least 2 holidays per month. Can you believe that the country that the Queen is being funeralized in, that's not even a compulsory holiday? As per stores, businesses can choose to open.
Yeah, here too.
The only people that have to close is the bank.
Yeah, no, here too. Here too. It wasn't compulsory.
They said it's a national holiday, Delton.
No, there was an.
What does national holiday mean in this country?
No, let me say, because did you see the Sioux Value posts?
No, Rupert them don't count. Y'all is open on Christmas Day and thing. Y'all don't count.
Yeah, our holiday hours are.
Oh, they don't. That's different though, because stores are different.
Yeah,
but in terms of,
I don't think it was made like everybody have to close.
No, but it was called a national holiday.
Yeah,
in the UK, it's not a national holiday.
Yeah, wherever's in the UK is what it is here.
Even there. Some people, I have friends who, as of Friday, didn't know if they had to go to work on Monday because their employees hadn't said they don't have to. So they were like, sorry, I don't get to mourn her. I don't get to be sad about the passing of the Queen. And actually, the point I was trying to make is they get holidays in May, apart from the Christmas holidays, right? That you are pretty much universal. May and August, those are the only holidays that exist in the UK. National.
But everybody gets the time off.
Those are the only set days in the calendar where everybody gets time off.
Bright and early.
I mean, already?
Oh, already. What you mean? What you mean already? What you mean already?
I ain't gonna lie. They look like they could get along like a house on fire. They got similar ways about them.
They gonna be talking.
My dearly beloved mama. You saw the video about with Prince Charles in the pen? I said I like him already. When I saw that video, I said I like him already. Those of you that did not see the video, Prince Charles got very, very annoyed and used some choice language at a pen that was leaky. He's like, oh. No, we can't say that in the Bahamas. That's very bad to say it. But it's the word that refers to the red liquid that spills from us when we're cut. He said, these all every time. I was like,
that's like guy of a pen.
I said, Charles. I mean, but he's grieving though. He's grieving.
Yeah,
and y'all making him do all this work, all of this up and downing and visiting people.
Just all the clothes.
Because really and truly, he misses his dear mama.
Yeah.
And I think looking at the pictures this week, it was the first time I saw that you realize that these are actually human beings who all are grieving. Probably had a really, as much as she was old.
For us, like grieving. No. Okay.
Like, come on, march. 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I was like, they have to keep vigil, like overnight, can't sleep, standing at her coffin. I read an article this morning that Harry is going to be allowed to wear his military clothes for the vigil on his dad's request.
They did a walkthrough. Was it yesterday morning? I think yesterday morning, which I thought was amazing. Like for the crowd, because that there are people standing there for 13 hours, like all day, all hours.
David Beckham?
Yeah.
He stood for 12 hours in the lines. They did a whole story about him, and the people are like, he's just like us. We love him.
Like, first of all,
he was like, I wanted to mourn with.
He's not like you guys.
That day he was. He stood with them outside. He's like, we've been eating donuts and drinking coffee. And one lady's like, don't forget the peaches. He's like, yeah, we had some peaches.
It's like,
it's hilarious.
When he walked away from you guys, he drove off in a $1 million car.
He stood up for 12 hours though. I'll give you that.
No, but
stood up for 12 hours.
They did a walk by. The family did like King Charles and them. They walked through the crowd. Like crowds.
You slipped into that King Charles really quickly. Like you didn't struggle with that at all. I'm gonna find that difficult.
I never said Prince Charles.
I've always like my whole life
outside of Prince Charles Drive. I don't never say Prince Charles.
Fair enough.
So they walked around. They were like hailing folks and getting little handshakes and stuff, kissing babies, all the normal stuff.
I feel like this is the one time where, in spite of pomp and pageantry, there is like the separation between crown and the public, or the royals and the peasants, is really quite small. Like they've been among the people a lot, and lots of opportunities for people to see them and connect with them. Like when people say, "Have you ever seen the Queen?" I was like, "No, you don't see the Queen." Like it's just not a thing.
You see it on TV.
You don't see the royal, right? You see her on TV. You see them on TV, but to see them like out and about, walking around the people. That's new. That's very unique to this situation.
They interviewed a few people on the news that were like, she's like, I have to work during the funeral. So they stood up like early morning hours watching the practice. Like there were lines of people watching the practice for the funeral.
Oh man.
And she's like, you can feel the drums striking the chest.
I believe it's going to be incredibly emotive though.
They talked
that
about
band, those drums, the shots, the cannons. It's going to be.
I can't remember how much years they went back, but they said this would be the most, like the biggest funeral they have ever had. Like, I think they went like years and years. Like,
I think in ever.
Hundreds of years back. In terms of how many people they are including in this parade, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
It
would be a crying shame to sleep through it. Oh, Father help me.
What time is it start for us?
6 a.m. And all of the drama really begins at like 5:15, 5:30 when people are coming in and you want to see the hats.
What they're wearing.
Because it's not uniquely Bahamian when you want to see how people dress to go to a special ceremony. That's a universal trait. So you got to be up early in the morning.
So I won't catch it around 11. probably
Delton,
around 9.
I've committed to something and I really am reconsidering it. And I know
Me
you
too.
relate, but I don't want to talk about it now. Let's talk about the
Oh
Queenie.
boy.
So at school, seeing as I'm here, they have this thing called 24-hour theatre, right? It starts.
No, but that sounds good. So you start with 24 hours.
It starts at
Like,
6 p.m. and ends at 7 p.m. the next day. So the children come in and they basically start from scratch. They design a play, a production. They put together a production in 24 hours. Then they perform it. And they created a rota, told the staff, come in at different points of the night of the 24 hours and do a shift.
Hey, you didn't pick like 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.?
The shifts, first of all, are 5 hours long.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
And I allowed my younger colleague to swing me. I said, yeah, whatever you sign up for, I'll sign up for. I'll come with you. When I checked the schedule, he signed me up for 1 a.m. 1 a.m.
To 6 a.m.?
to 6 a.m. on a Saturday, next Saturday. Because
man,
it starts
so,
Friday
yes,
to
that's-
Saturday.
So announcement, guys, there won't be a show next week Saturday.
No, you're playing my strength.
Man,
Julie said Jody said I'm the con. Correct.
So there won't be any show.
I digress. I was just thinking about
Next
vigils. I was
Saturday.
thinking about standing up. I was thinking about back pain. And then I was thinking about waking up early in the morning. And I thought about that. I'm
So
sorry.
when do they perform the
The Saturday night. So they start
that
Friday
same
night.
Saturday night?
To say they just go. They go. It's 24
No,
hours.
y'all different. Y'all different over there. Y'all different over that
And
side.
the kids
On
are
that side.
so excited. The kind of kids you never thought would participate in anything of that nature. They're all signed up. And apparently, our shift is the shift where they turn up and play games. That's it. And that's why they said, "Oh, you and Mr. Cargill are perfect for this." I said at 1 o'clock in the morning. So at Friday, 3 p.m. when school closed, I going to sleep.
As you should.
That's gonna be me out cold.
As you should.
Anyway, I digress.
I see Gio's online. Happy birthday again.
Happy
Gio.
birthday, Gio.
So in other news and reviews.
So before we move on, don't be ungrateful. Y'all rise early and watch the funeral. Spend that time in reflection. They did an assembly and the way they tied it in, I quite liked it. They said that no matter what you think about the Queen and her role and her position, relationship with the Bahamas, she's somebody that left a legacy. In this time, think about the legacy you're going to leave. I was like, Ishando. I like it.
Hey, bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah, so
If they did a photo reel of your life, what pictures would they choose?
Lord. Wow. Y'all make this really deep.
That's what she did, mate. The assembly was like,
Yup.
I mean, not all of it was, some of it was like, but the part, you know me, I'm going to find what, I'm going to take what I need to take.
Take what's for me.
If they did a photo reel of your life, because there's a really nice video going around of a picture of her every year, literally 96 pictures.
Oh.
One picture every year, and it's very nice. And I said, well, if they did that about you, would somebody be at the end like, very nice? Or like, yeah.
She was happy today.
Like, well, that whole year was a write-off for her, apparently. My goodness. My goodness. So what's the lesson here? Take a picture of yourself. Go on. Take some more pictures.
I did that today for some strange reason. Took a picture of myself. I was like, I don't do this.
I did too,
Put my
but
phone
that's
down.
because I beat my face.
I was like, all right, put my phone down. I was like, what you doing? You don't do this.
Why not?
I don't know.
You see, you got
I don't
to.
take pictures of myself. I'd
No,
be like, what you doing? No, I think what happened was like for some reason the light was very bright. And I was like, that's good lighting.
Did you take the picture?
I did.
Okay.
I took one.
Delton,
I did.
take pictures of
Did I take it?
yourself. Why not?
Anyway, that's the news and review. So as I just shown a few minutes ago,
I mean, there was some bad news and stuff in the news. There was there's fight in the school.
The Prime Minister is already out there. He already had a visit with King Charles, and I'm waiting to see the videos of the contingency.
I don't think there is a contingency. I think you all need to stop your trapsy mess and just let Brave do his duties in peace. This is one of his duties as a Prime Minister of a Commonwealth country. This particular going is a necessary going.
I'm guessing 24.
There is no.
All right.
No, sir. Why? No.
I'm putting a number out there. I'm pretty sure they're never going to give us a real number. But if we can somehow get someone there on the inside.
I think 8 is reasonable.
8 would be reasonable.
That's
However,
including wife, secretary,
security.
security.
Jody out she's thinking 6. Jody,
Jody,
no way.
24. Who is the
24.
you?
I'm thinking 24.
Anyway, I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into this with you because
I'm going 24. I'm going a strong 24. So anyway, we wait 24.
see,
And that whole
she
Bahamian
means you mean
contingency.
24 human beings, Angelica.
24 human beings representing the Bahamas.
I feel like you are
at the
being
funeral
wild.
for King Charles. I mean, for Queen Elizabeth.
There is no way.
All right.
But the thing is, they're not going to accommodate 24 people in the funeral. What do you mean? You know who's coming? Dignitaries from all around the world. Who are these 24 unnecessary human beings?
I never said anything but the funeral. I say who's going on a trip.
It's not a trip.
Okay.
They're not invited. You can't sit with us.
Because y'all really believe that these contingencies usually go to all the events. I just say it.
They're just going to go.
Who the government paying for? I think it's strong 24.
I really don't. I like to see the good.
I'll wait for Rashad to give me the numbers.
Rashad, just make one little call right now.
Send the WhatsApp to the group. Ask them.
Princess say 14. For me, 14 is too much. 24 is inconceivable.
All right. Blessings of the Lord. I went to the carry to buy who never did anything. We never know. That number
but the pretends that they were grouped. Anyway.
So another news and reviews. The country, we had a little violent spree that now it usually is in adults, but now it seems to head towards the schools. Stabbings, fight videos. Now I saw somebody say that what happened was these are the few occasions that they actually got recorded, but like in certain schools they've been having fights every day.
What are you fighting about?
You
are not paying bills. You don't have to raise children. You don't have even to cook dinner. What are you fighting about?
For other people fighting for turf wars. I don't know if it's still. I don't know if it's. I mean, for us back in our school days, you would fight just for like some stuff on your shoes, stuff like that.
Yeah, but you wouldn't fight with knives.
But based on this crew, that's like when you have a whole crew fighting, this is not like little individual, like little petty things. This is like gang war.
This is life and death fighting.
Yeah, like where you bring in knives to the school, and of course, whenever this still argument comes up, people always jump to we need more police in the schools, and I'm like that doesn't make any sense. It's not going to stop anything. And I like to me.
But what are the solutions, Delton? If that's not going to work, what is going to work?
The only solution is spiritual. You can't attack this. There's no physical way of attacking this, unless you build in 30-foot walls around every school, and you're willing to put in place very expensive metal detectors that people have to walk with the airport and put their hands up like this, and a machine goes around them for every student that walks in that gate. You can't prevent that. There are going to be weapons that are going to get on the campus. You could drive past any school in the country right now and throw some over the gate. Because there's usually just a little low fence or even it's a little high. It's not that high. And so that's what they do. They grab there, you throw your knife over, and you walk inside the school gate. You get the little warm thing go over you. Woo, and you walk in. You walk behind the music block or wherever that block is, close to the wall. Take your knife and you go.
And then Terrell, it's like you're living in my brain. And then school becomes like prison.
That's the only way I mean, the true way is to fix the home, but these homes are in a mess. I heard someone saying, like, y'all parents, y'all got to check your children bags before they go to school. That's not going to fix it.
And to be honest, I think it goes beyond checking the bag. Because if your child is able to put a knife in their bag or has the thought of putting a knife in their bag, the failures come much earlier than that for them to get to the point where they are in social circles or exposed to things that make them feel like violence is the only solution. Then, oh goodness gracious, it's.
Let me go back. Delton, if Shotzi get the power, he would be ready to do. So Shotzi ready to go do. So I'll say basically prison or Jesus. That's what that's.
Terrell, do you have another suggestion? Do you have an alternative?
There be no public school kids. Those kids throw those things over, walk in and get their property. What they need to do is he says random bag searches in school once everyone is settled. Now I agree with that as well. Now there are ways that people get around those kind of things, but I think
And Delton knows because he was one of the ways that people used to get around those things.
First of all, man, nobody just asked anybody about personal business. Nobody asked.
You've already shared that on DGMT.
That was the show, and people,
but it always
people who were
shocks me.
then, they didn't watch the show back then. The people who are here now, they don't know the story.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So,
me.
I mean, so there are ways to get around that, but I think if the way not to get is that everybody has to get searched, because usually how it works for a particular people back in the day when I went to school, like if the senior masters, senior mistresses knew you, they knew you were from a good family stock. They knew that you don't get yourself in any trouble.
Good stock.
Good stock. You say you have brothers who are pastors and did well in school. Your mother was in charge of the PTA. They don't search you, and so you get to go scot-free. And so there had to be searches for everybody. Because I know when it increased during my time at R.M. Bailey, as a student, this was around the year, I am old. Wow. This is around like 2002, 2003. And we had, and it was awesome. We started to get like the inter-house school sports going on, and they do basketball games. And everybody would flood to the gym to watch a basketball game. And right when that bell ring to end lunch, police would show up at the gate. Like as soon as that bell ring, and everybody trying to leave, straight lines, everybody in straight lines, and you getting searched. So that was what they did for when violence increased in our Bailey during that little search period. However, like I said, everybody didn't get searched. Me being one of them, I didn't get searched, and so, and so they found ways to get around those things. So, and Rashad says, so search every one of them. Everybody go class by class, and no one is to move. So that is one way. But to me, the amount of police that you have to put on these school campuses to actually be effective, because we are painting this picture as if, and it usually comes from the older generation, as if we live in this generation that respect police officers. There was, for our generation, I think our generation was like one of the last, where we respected police officers. And even when I was in school, it started to decrease.
Yeah.
So, and I've been out of school now a long time.
And I think Rashad is like, search everyone and no one is to move. But that's not less, like, really what we need are the solutions that will change the culture of violence. That will kind of prevent or maybe deter or maybe make sure that students delay these kind of fights for the streets. But the culture of violence, the mindset that has captured young men and women, that means that they feel like any dispute has to be dealt with violence, like lethal violence that has fatal consequences. That's a more, deep-rooted ill that we have to address. If you see some of these children live,
then their actions will be understood. No, they're coming from some very, 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 very dark places that they have to call home.
Rashad say search everyone.
Everybody.
So, class by class, no one is to move.
Princess says, to be fair, some of these searches are ineffective. These children are so crafty.
And the thing is, the manpower, as you said, the police, like how many police would you need to actually carry out something like that in a way that is effective? It would be like 2 police in every class simultaneously.
And when the class walks to the class, the police walk with them.
Yeah.
That's what you have to be. Because when it's lunchtime, all right, everybody in this class, y'all stay over here, y'all get your lunch, y'all come in here, I'll be standing here and we watch y'all.
Rashad said that's a community learned behavior. So you're saying that there's no, that's what, so I mean, like, I feel like the solutions in school will keep the kids safe in school, or will work to keep them safe in school, which we should be doing in school, because there's only so much you can do. However, the bigger issue is what our kids are learning, the environments they're living in, the communities they belong to, and the values those communities hold. My thing is, I am trying to imagine if I was a teacher and I worked in a school and a child that I taught died that day as a result of killing, or was in hospital of stabbing or fighting. Mentally, the people who lead these kids now are in a different headspace.
Yeah.
The kids that sit in the classroom with them are in a different headspace. Like, the impact goes beyond the injury of the child, goes beyond the punishment of the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Like, the whole school culture is affected and impacted.
So I don't know, outside of Jesus, like Terrell said, prison or Jesus, like what would be
but
effective?
There have to be that Paul Saul on the road to Damascus kind of
Like intervention.
Because saying, the Jesus injection, even for those of us who've been saved all our lives and never got into that, the changes that happen in us are so gradual. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're small, they're incremental, and then in our resistance and our lack of faith and belief, you get stagnant for a while and you don't really grow or learn anything, even though you get in Jesus every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, every.
Yep.
So you got like saying Jesus is very like, oh, Jesus will fix it. In the real sense, that transformation is for most people gradual.
Yeah. Which Terrell says, I am not sure how effective searches are going to be unless they are really, really thorough. Now you're talking about taking away time from the school day, because this is a lot of churns.
That's my other thing. Like, this what we use in school time to do.
Like break time? No, it's no longer break. No
we
more
spend in
lunch.
school time to search the
We gonna
bag so
search.
you all can have school time. I guess. All right.
Back in the day, my backpack had a false bottom.
Why?
And though I never had a reason to use it, I was very thankful it was there if needed.
Torre. Why did your bag
Where the hell goes?
have a false bottom?
Man, we have 2 L's. You said that.
Torre.
Yeah, 2 L's in this name. You said that.
Terrell. Why did your bag? Why are they making bags?
No, they didn't make bag. More than likely, I'm sure Terrell doesn't. His bag didn't come with a false bottom.
I think it did.
Think it did?
Terrell, there's no way. Did you give your bag a false bottom or it came with a false bottom?
I know back in the day, you create a false bottom. I don't know.
Let's create a false bottom.
You just cut the usually bags had a little lining. You just cut the lining and then you like do a little sort of stitch back up. Do what you have to do.
Delton. Anyway, you're in fans of contribute to the Lord.
I'm not in the matter of fact. So Terrell came with a false bottom.
It's like, manufacturing for criminals. That's what that sounds like. Rashad says, do a random school lockdown and no one moves. Have about 4 police to search every student in every class.
Now, that's school time going?
I'm just trying to find some sort of resolution. Other than that, I agree.
Read back to prison, Lord Jesus.
Back to the beninging. Princess says she remembers many times having to stop fights or run away depending on the nature when she was a government school teacher. These children have serious anger issues, but after the fight, some of them are the most apologetic. Again, product of their environment.
Yeah.
Like, don't know how else to resolve an issue or conflict than with violence. And these children come from all what's the word? All echelons of society. Children with anger management issues and parents who don't necessarily know how to coach them, train them, and teach them how to deal with that.
Do you think that? I mean, I know it is definitely different, but children with anger issues in like private schools, you don't hear much. I know there's fights that happen in private schools. I taught in private schools, but you don't hear much about it. Do you think do you think something about?
No, I don't think as many fights happen in private schools.
Not as much. I say fights happen in private schools.
No, but what I mean is, I think we don't hear about it because they're very rare, and when they do happen, they're not violent. Based on my 2 private school experiences, fight broke out this week. Everybody was in a whole fight. You should have seen me with the kids. I was like, come.
What happened?
He touched him physically. That's the kind of thing. And it turned out that it was an example of a child who has anger issues. In a different environment, though, his anger issues may manifest as violence. So I think it's actually, I say it happens in all echelons of society. I think I have to take that back. I think there are certain homes where the lack of support because parents are working, children are pretty much raising themselves, can exacerbate those kind of anger issues and can create them feeling neglected, poorly, looked after, that kind of stuff. So maybe I should take that back because honestly, Princess backed me up. The fights I know of and the fights I hear of on the news, they're not the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. It's not like we all signed a waiver like this is a private school. When children fight here, we don't talk about it. You kind of get a general sense that we don't brag about fights in our schools. But at the same time, it's not the same. It's not the same kind of violence or fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the same time, a lot of these government schools is sort of territory fights too because we live sort of in the same area of the school. Whereas private schools, usually you don't necessarily live close to the school. So you don't need for a turf war.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's no need for a turf war. No stopping any of that. But I know a lot. I told people that I think there might be a little uptick in crimes in private schools.
That word uptick is back.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was a COVID word. Definitely a COVID word. But when they started to do these and this is a good thing. These scholarships for students to send to private school because they could run. I was like, I don't think they should be doing this as much as they are doing it. Cause I watched like private schools. I saw that this is from when I was in school. That was taking children because they were fast. I was like, I don't think you want this guy in my
Now,
school.
Delton, my observation is I agree with you. However, those kids come into those environments and are quelled. They come in and they change, like they find a small crew to change how those people
I
behave.
had a few from my
But
class.
I honestly believe it dilutes them.
After
You
that
know,
1 year, I took it right back.
no, I believe
Hey,
Princess. I could call
I get
names.
back here.
I could call names. It takes a dedication, though. It takes
Yeah.
a school that's invested in understanding that you are more than a child that can run. You are
That is
a
true.
child that could potentially be the complete other way.
Yeah.
So when you start to manifest those traits here, we don't send you out because we brought you here in order to save you from that. So it takes a commitment to transforming that child. But I think environments matter. Now that I'm speaking about this, my view on it is actually completely changing because I know kids that came into that private school environment. We saw them gather a little gang. We're like, Jesus, they're bringing it in here. Princess, I know Princess is exactly some kids I'm talking about. And over time, you don't become, picture perfect, success story. But you had 3 years in here that actually, if they were somewhere else, you would have been a completely different child.
Definitely.
Here, you're the worst of the worst, and most of your teachers can't stand you. However, you ended up better being here than you would have if you were there. Absolutely. The environment matters.
Yeah.
And the environment's created by the culture because you can get 5 kids that somehow relate to your background and whatever, but the vast majority of kids aren't from homes where that kind of your lifestyle appeals to them. It doesn't.
Princess, the real problem is no one can discipline another person's child. If the village was still allowed to help, we may be in a better place. Just as exactly, Princess. We really need the village, and the village is definitely that's being eradicated.
For me, if I teach your child, I'm in the village. Period. If I teach your child, I am part of your village until you explicitly tell me not to be, and then.
And I think that's the problem. We have
your child will sit in my class doing all kind of fooling. I
don't
leave
know
them.
if that's how it is in private schools. I know the government schools at one point it was like, don't talk to my child. You know my child. You don't just leave my child alone. That happened in instances.
Siobhan, sorry, what happened?
I was reading this now, and I was like, am I reading this correctly?
What?
Let's go. Let's put this on the screen. So Siobhan typed this down.
Siobhan, what?
I saw a young 3rd grader kick my daughter while she was on the ground yesterday. I told him, hey, boys don't hit girls. Obviously, he saw a man do that to a female. This is primary school.
Siobhan, if I didn't know before, I know now. You are saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost. Because Siobhan said, let me teach you a life lesson.
A life lesson? Oh, you didn't get a lesson, sir.
This boy kicked your... What? Huh? But then she makes a good point. For a grade 3 student to kick... A grade 3 child, to kick a boy, to kick a girl. No one's ever told them boys don't hit girls.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, some of these children are just stubborn. They heard it.
Oh boy, Siobhan, this is me.
Siobhan,
you got that boy with that.
Not my Ash, not my baby girl.
That student. Oh boy. Woo.
And he did it for her to my chest. Just a child, not a student, a child. Princess said, very true, Miss Vera. Environment. Not you come in an hour later to tell us we reach. You reach.
At an hour later, Cassie. Just saying.
That good tomorrow tea reach. Well, that good tomorrow tea. Hey, y'all. Apparently, hey to you too. Rashad say, Princess, that's it there. They have taken power away. I am a part of the village. Rashad, you just hurt my heart with that apart just now. I'm going to let it go, though. I feel very, very strongly about a part and a part.
She definitely does.
But I'm going to leave it because me and you are co-educators. So I'm going to walk away.
Let her know.
It was a boy.
It just happens quickly sometimes, Rashad.
Yeah, I know. Siobhan, how you did not snatch that little boy?
That's what how was that?
Valencia came and said, teachers are definitely a part of the village. Thank you very much, Valencia, for that contribution. Yes, ma'am. Anyway, I continue to pray your strength. Siobhan say, it's the word at Life Worship Center, man. It sure is, girl. It sure is. Oh, my chest. Not my Ashnea. I think we need more male presence in the schools as well. Good day. Stanford roll you onto something. But Rashad say that from last week, they're turning the males away, which just it's an unattractive profession for males to be in. Apparently, because males like more money more than women do. I don't know.
Well, first of all, I mean, there's the stigma that says that we don't have that quote unquote
nurturing.
Yeah, we don't really capture that. We do what that's it for the child.
It's teaching nurturing. Like,
if I'm
I wonder if it's my nurturing.
Yes.
But Delton, you're part of the village, but you've already refused to go back in the classroom.
I refuse that village. It's like, I move around.
No, but you're part of the village in that. For example, if you see a child in Life Worship Center,
I'm heading to the city.
No, man, town.
To the town.
The township. I wonder if it is only nurturing. Is it the nurturing that keeps us going? I mean, I've been grappling with my own patience. I told myself this week, I said, Father, I feel like my season in this profession is coming to an end. Because that ability to come back the next day and everything is forgotten, I don't have it.
Pressure's getting worse.
Pressure is getting worse. Like my level of patience, like Miss Wilson, before like 9 Miss Wilsons before I get irritated, now 3 times.
3 do that.
Miss Wilson is like, what is wrong with you?
I just want to go to the bathroom.
And
now.
I thought it was
wanted to know if I could go to the bathroom.
And you know the amount of times I've had to apologize to speak to kids. But Miss Wilson, I asked you that. Oh, I didn't hear you. I thought you were asking me something else. And then I was like, should have just listened to what the judge was saying. So nurturing a bit of patience. So I guess these are things that men need to be incentivized to do. Is that the argument? Women do them without incentive, and men
intrinsic
don't.
And extrinsic. We need that extrinsic. We need that. Some of us need that extrinsic to be, to be like, okay, all right, this worth my time.
Okay, Rashad, you're saying education is not appealing for males anymore. What they need are more males at the helm. The question is, what is less appealing about education now than it was, other than money?
I think that's a question. My first question is, where was it ever appealing to men?
And what would make it appealing? What does it not have that would make it appealing to males? Is it just the money?
I don't.
Because the reason that there are more females at the helm is because there are more females in the classroom, and that's how it should be. Shouldn't be people who have never been in the classroom who are leading the system. Now, that's a different question for another day.
Yeah.
If we had, I think the proportionality of females in leadership and education matches what we see females in education, period. So I agree that having more males at the helm would be great, but you need more males in the classroom in order to have more males at the helm. So why don't males want to be in the classroom? Is it anything other than money? And if it's just money, well then.
I think one.
If it's just money, then you probably aren't an educator at heart.
No, definitely not. I think one thing too, that's not a profession that in a society we grew up in that males are encouraged to go to from birth. You'd never hear like parents saying that, oh, my child could be a teacher.
Because maybe the profession never gave you a breadwinning salary.
That's true too.
And in a country that is built on Christian principles, I mean, typically the Sunday schooling and actually no, because your males teach Sunday school.
Yeah.
But children's church and thing was not the men's them.
No.
Right.
Children's church, no. But Sunday school, yeah.
I know even the Bible talks about the women teaching the children and the other women, the older women. So maybe we just took that quite literally and
misogyny.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say anything of that sort.
I know it's there. But I guess, yeah, so it was for me, I went towards education really because I was doing it. Like it was something that I was doing. That's how I got it. Like, and at R&B at the time, you had like different options that you could take grade 11, 10, 11, and 12. Certain options, like you could take the early BCSE thing. That's just really coming around now. That wasn't like a standard like how it is now, where you could be in grade 10 or 11 and taking exams. So in my class, my time, you could take BCSE early, and I took music, religion, and math early. And I passed them, and because music was an option, and I think another one was an option, I couldn't stay in the same class. So there's like, you had to find another option. But I couldn't leave both, so I had to stay in music. And I realized that my teacher would be like, all right, y'all set. Y'all go over here with Delton and y'all take your books over there with Delton. So I'm in the class now, like I was in the class teacher.
Right.
So I came to get familiar with it. And so that's how I really became like, you know what, I can do this. I could be a teacher of the music. And I was teaching at Devon. So
a teacher.
a teacher of the music. I was at Devon Music School. Yeah, music school he started. I was teaching them when I was in grade 11, teaching them when I was in grade 12. So like, I could do this. When it came like to actually like went to school and learn to teach properly, it's like,
that's how most of us.
I gotta love the children for true. Like, no, I don't love the children.
And then I guess it's a greater investment in their progress. Like their progress depends pretty much on you.
My cousin say, how can I provide for a family on $2,200 per month? Like really? He said he was going into the classroom, but at $2,100, $2,200 was like he can't do it. And so, and he's a chef.
Delton, if history serves me well, male educators used to get more incentive.
Like I said, yeah.
As teaching was not something males were encouraged to do. I'm not against it all. I'm just playing all the sides. If you need extra, like if the money is the attraction, but then I guess, as your cousin said, I just have to support my family. Like this might be something I'm passionate about, but it's not going to help me support my family. And because I'm the man, the breadwinner, I must make sacrifices. Okay. I still believe men are less inclined. Just like if on passion alone, don't calculate how many people actually work in the profession. How many people are interested in teaching and have a passion for teaching? I still think women would far outnumber males. Forget money. Like even if it was the highest paying job in the world, actually not in the world. That's an exaggeration because your men would take that over.
Hey, you got that.
If it's paying the money, no women would be in it. The men would take complete control. But if it was a high-paying job, I still think it would be
teachers start.
women.
Let's say if teachers start at $40,000, like you you coming at $40,000
as the base,
probably will be one man. Because I then think even from a child, your parents would steer you that direction. The reason, like
because of the level of respect, like doctor, lawyer, I
can say that,
engineer,
especially that African culture.
Oh,
that's where you go.
Now I'm Ghanaian. Education is very well respected. I have friends from all around the world that were educated by Ghanaians. Now it's not high paying, but it's just well respected. Like teachers are respected like policemen and doctors. They don't get paid as much, but they are respected. So my parents actually wanted to stay. Well, my parents were both teachers. My father and my mother were teachers.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mum was very happy to steer me towards teaching. My dad, not so much. It's like, you won't be rich. I was like, oh.
That's just FYI. FYI.
That's if you're looking for the money, it's not it.
Other than that, if you're looking for
go ahead.
The blessing that's attached to it. Money can't buy that.
Money can't buy that. Jody said,
a child loving you, money can't buy that.
Having a baby could though. Could it be an issue of fatherlessness? Jody says, the men don't know how to father their students. The amount of children my father was a father figure to in his 35 years of teaching is astounding. I'm amazed at the stories I've heard. So men who don't know what it is to be a father don't have the level of nurturing that is necessary to look after a class of 30-something children. Interesting.
Like me, myself as a father. Like, what if I was a father? I had a father, and me myself as a father. But if you want to teach more, you want to teach less. So I feel like, I can't take 30 more of these. So, and I had a father. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's the cause, but I do think if it was more, it was 40. Like I said, that $40,000. If I could have $40,000, I'd go 35. I could have $35,000 as a teacher. It'd be like, okay.
Rashad disagrees with me. He thinks that there are many with the passion, but it's not appealing. I still stand by what I said, but I'll agree to disagree on this one. I'll agree to disagree on this one. It's 1 hour and 8 minutes in. Yeah. Delton and I have got to go. But of course, if on the topic of the price of education.
Speaking about the price of education.
Speaking about the price of teaching people.
As we get ready to the boss. Excellent.
Give me my props.
That was an excellent sound effect. Get sound effect. Excellent transition, man. Excellent. Speaking
Speaking
as we
about
get
the
ready to wrap up the
price
show,
of
what
education.
made talk, what made news today around the social media gospel world was a flyer that went very viral very quickly from one a name that we are very everybody should be familiar with at the time, which is what is she now?
Juanita Bynum,
Like, what is it? Does she go? That's
Dr.
prophetess,
Prophetess,
Doctor
Prophetess,
Prophetess,
Doctor,
Chief Prophetess.
Madam.
Juanita Bynum started something called the Prayer Institute that started in October down there in Atlanta, and it's a 4-week intensive course for the month of October. And the price it was $1,999.99, but just for a special cost of just $1,499.99.
Just. It's like Shantae yesterday. She got $900. It's only a
Yeah,
little bit.
Shadi's like, I just get like a little blessing.
One little blessing.
That's the member of our church.
$900.
She was giving a testimony, and she was like, "It wasn't much. Just someone just gave me $900." And I was like, It's like, wow, take me there, Lord, take me there to $900 being. Like, what can I do with this? Anyway, so yeah, so for $1,500, you can be a part of Juanita Bynum's the Prayer Institute, and the saints were up in arms. Now she took it down. She took it down when it initially went started to go viral and people were commenting on it, and then she put it back up. She's like, you know what, all right, let's put it back up. Just like let's do it. And people were up in arms. This is especially from the actual like website that my host did an investigation and found out that it was indeed true. That it was $1,499. Now, how do you feel about this? Were you up in arms with the Saints?
I took this before the Lord and I said, Father, I need clarity. I need understanding. And he did not give it to me. Because there are so many arguments and counter arguments to this. And it almost feels like endless. Like you could whittle all the way down to the bottom line. Like, is the issue that she is charging, period? Because the arguments are that paying to make teaching people to pray. So prayer is something people have to pay for. Those are essentially the arguments.
Mm-hmm.
So is it the price or is it charging, period? Because you go on any kind of course and you pay. You go to any kind of conference and you pay a registration fee because they hire a venue and they give you materials. They give you a little lanyard and a booklet and stuff. And so when it's affordable, there's no complaint. But the arguments were not that the cost was too high, but that there was a cost, period.
I saw both. I saw both that was saying that it was too high, and some were saying
it's way too high. You need to cut it. But she did from
$2,000 to $1,500. What more do you want?
What more could she do?
So it was $1,900. I mean, it was $2,000. She cut it down to $1,500, and the people are still upset. So what she did was she went on the live, and went the first part of her live. I completely agreed with. She was like, "This is my paraphrasing. Y'all don't read." The first thing she said, she's like, "Y'all don't read." The people were commenting on top of how why go to church for pay if you're not to go to church. People obviously didn't read the flyer. They just saw $1,500 and they assumed that she was charging them like for church service or like she's having a conference. She was like to the people that are on here complaining about me charging people to pray for them. If you knew anything about me, like I'm sure you did, but all of a sudden this price tag like made you forget. Like I'm on the prayer call like 5 o'clock in the morning. Do you remember these years of me doing prayer calls and praying for y'all? Like I never charge y'all. Like I don't charge y'all to pray. And then she went and she sort of broke down what the prayer thing is about, and using her, she said 35 years. So she's been doing this for 35 years, but she's 35 years, and in the last 14 years, she's been doing these trainings and stuff on prayer and looking at the brain, how the brain works, and how the mind and the soul combines in prayer. Like she's breaking down exactly what she's going to be talking about. And she's like, it's called the Prayer Institute because it's going to be a school. Like this is not something I'm doing in my studio. She's like, the seats only have 150 seats. She's like, at my studio where I record my show, there's more than 150 seats. And people don't pay for this. They come there. So if it's about that, it's not about that. It's really about me talking about the prayer, imparting what I have learned, what I've learned over these years, how to get into different levels of prayer, the different dimensions of prayer, the different head spaces of prayer. So she's breaking it down. And at the end of the day, I was like, I'm still not paying that much money. But for there, however, there's a group of people that will.
My thing is, do you know what? Let me not say my thing. One of the things, because I'm still not sure what my thing is. One of the things is, why are we charging to give revelation, period? Do it in the form of school, or do it in the form of preaching, or do it in a form that is accessible to everybody. Because once you put a price tag on it, you exclude somebody who might be very passionate about prayer from accessing because they can't afford that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things, right? But the other thing is, we don't value what we don't pay for. Let's be honest.
That's the truth.
We don't value what we don't pay for.
Very much true.
I might have gone into the 12th heaven to bring this truth to y'all, and she ain't bringing it, throwing her pearls before the swine stand. I want you to know I sit slap bang in the middle, because I don't. One thing about you ain't gonna find me jumping on no bandwagon. The comments were hilarious, by the way.
Very much.
Comments were hilarious. However, I'm quick to speak about charging people to pray, because we buy books about prayer. And the book maybe is $30 because that's affordable for you. And so it's okay. So charging to share revelation in that form isn't a problem. Now we say, well, they have to produce the book and publish the book, and that costs money, but they're not doing it not to get a profit. You know, there are so many men of God, word of faith preachers that people are mad at for being rich. And they're like, yeah, but I've been selling books for years.
Yeah.
I have products that I sell. I have become wealthy selling products. So we know that there are men and women of God who make a profit off their wisdom, revelation, understanding, time spent with God. And that's their means of income. Pastor who preaches, and there's a conflict of, just preach the gospel and God will provide for your needs. But if he's given me something that can be monetized, why would I not monetize it and provide for myself?
Yep.
Why give it all for free and then ask God to provide? And God's like, but I gave you 2 hands, 2 feet, a mouth, and you want me to drop rain, like money down as rain from heaven? Like, what is it you want? So, and I'm throwing all those arguments in because I think similar things apply. Now, how high the cost is, it does feel really unreasonable. But I'm not going to be there. So I'm not going to know if anybody who leaves is going to be like, that's $1,500 well spent. I think of other intensive courses you could do. I think about going, I was, speaking to Marisha about this same topic. And I was saying, well, how is this different from going to like seminary? You're being taught the art of preaching, and it's based on the Bible, but somebody has revelation that they can bring to you in a way you wouldn't see if you were by yourself. So I'm not going to be quick to say this is wrong, she shouldn't be charging, because the exchange of money in God's house is always a very, very delicate subject. But there are some truths that we cannot deny. When men and women of God who have dedicated their entire lives to ministry have to make money some way, somehow, in some shape and some form. So I've been wrestling with this one all week, because I was immediately like, anti-binum. It's too much.
It's too much.
But when I thought about it, I was like, it's too much for me. That, I don't know if you've seen that Instagram thing, my price is not too high, it's just out of your price. That track or that thing that people play behind their reels. Like, my products are not too expensive, they're just out of your price range. I was like, is this one of those cases?
I believe that's what it is.
And if we're saying it has to be in everybody's price range, how low does she have to come down to make sure everybody can afford it? I do not know. Does she have scholarships available?
10 free spots.
It's all a bit tetchy. I think you've got to be wise to balance all sides of the arguments to then come on a hard side, to then come down on one side. I'm not saying anybody on any side is wrong, but I've been wrestling with all the branches of this tree. I've been in ministry my whole entire life. Like, my mum was a pastor. I know what it is to run a church. I know what it is to quit your job and do ministry full time. So I'm very careful to talk about money and ministry. Very, very careful to do it. Raquel Pinder is with us on YouTube. Raquel,
hello, birthday mate.
Good to see you this afternoon. Oh Lord Jesus. I'm not saying she right. I'm just saying the iPhone 14 costs right around there. You want to call your friend or you
want to reach heaven? What you want to do?
Do you want to get heaven on the hotline? Or you want to get Helen on the hotline? What you trying to do?
Like, who you trying to reach?
What you trying to do?
Who you trying to call?
Ghostbusters? I'm sorry. It's too easy. Maria Varens said it's an institute, so it's the institute charging, not her, I guess. It's her institute though. We're not pretending that there's a place. Yeah. She have a dean of education and a board. It's her and her people, but yeah. Y'all better get that prayer shawl and tote bag.
No. And she said she's gonna be placing the prayer shawl on your.
Jody says how many classes a week? Bynum said you can't read the thing now.
I decided what you say with
y'all it doesn't say how many classes a week. However, if you wanted to know how many classes a week, she had plenty live. She has a whole website with lots of detail. So I guess those who really interested would have gone to do their Googles, such as I did, because I didn't want to come on here and make things up. Delton, you saw the thing I sent you yesterday? The 5,333 thing on Instagram. Please check it. Yeah. I've got an old student on the live in the person of Trent McIntosh. Said, hey, Willie, only you could call me that and get away with it. These new children trying to do it.
It's
and I said,
a
no.
2-hour intensive 7 sessions. So it's 14 hours in total. So you're paying almost
$350 a week.
$350 a week?
Jody did the math.
700. And
I'm not trying. Again, I'm not trying. It's not 350. It's 375.
Yeah, it's around there.
About 375. But anyway, I'm not. This one was. I think it's good clickbait. It's one of those like when you see it's like, oh my God, this is such a big number. And then when you sit with it and you think about the other ways in which the same principle is being applied, you kind of think,
I say to each its own. I wasn't bothered or unbothered.
And I honestly think this is one of those things where if you don't see the value in it, don't invest your money or time.
No.
There are people who see the value. I guess the counter argument to that is if it is wrong, if it's fallacy in some way, those who see the light and understand the truth have a responsibility to bring it to others who may be deceived. So while it may not be right or wrong, we can't take the principle, oh, it's not for me and I don't agree with it, so I'll leave it. Because sometimes your disagreement is because you know truth. And knowing truth comes with heavy responsibility.
Yeah. And that's one of them.
You don't think so?
For me? Not for me, no.
For you personally?
For me personally, for me, myself, and I.
For you, yourself, and you, eh?
Personally, no.
I heard you.
I'm like, man, I don't know. Because I don't even know, like, a scale for these events, like, outside of her. Like,
my disclaimer is, this is in America.
Exactly.
That's my disclaimer.
As you watch her live, you saw the people commenting. And people were like, when are you going to bring this here? When are you going to bring this to this place? When are you going to bring this to this place? People want to know, can they sign up virtually? So there's an audience, obviously, that demanded this. And I think she's doing it for an audience. I think that audience is going to follow that 150 seats.
Only?
It's only 150 seats.
My goodness.
And I think she's going to be full out. And I
Easily.
think, pray to God, and them people's lives will be better for it. And that's all I got to say about that for today.
That's all I have for today.
That's all I have for today.
Yes.
So, I saw that. I didn't know what it was. Because all is in the same like slide thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't. That's what I said. Tithe card. What is that?
I know.
I didn't understand either. Yeah. So anyway, so I ain't getting in past the one needed business. Simon says we have to remember these folks live in a different financial bracket as well. It's for those in that bracket.
And you know what? It's an interesting concept. You're expecting God to bless you, increase you, bring the billions and the millions, and it's like, yeah, but Father, I'm not spending 1,500 on prayer. Never. It's like,
yeah,
yeah. I found that one. Oh, I found that one touchy. I believe that we need the men of God. Huh?
That's one.
Yeah, and boss lady.
They
yeah. But we gotta to fill in the gap because around 4 that's gonna end, and YBR too.
Okay. All right then. Sorry, so guys. So all right. So we get to wrap up because we
have to wrap up. Unfortunately, unfortunately,
more
I really would have liked the men of God to chime in on that one.
Yeah, to find out
from the standpoint of those that received that deep revelation from heaven. and also depend on ministry to live. You know, we stand on the outside with our own jobs and we go to church when we feel like it. And when they ask us to do stuff, we say no if we don't want to do it. But those, men and women of God who've committed to doing 5 a.m. prayer and preaching every Sunday and midweek services and don't ever get to just say, no, I'm not doing it. I wonder what they think of this. I'd like to hear from them.
We will ask them. We can have them here next week. We can ask them next week.
Yeah, I think we should make a special
Because the
invitation.
agency doesn't start till October. So
I'm not going to lie. You need to invite them next week. Both. Because I'm going to be coming from
I don't know if you have no show next week.
24
hours. 24 hour
but if you have other humans, I won't feel compelled to be energetic. I could just...
Nuh-uh. I know you, ma'am. You get that room. You just going.
That's why you need backup.
I say you can be sitting there. That's just that you be sitting there. I agree.
That's exactly why you need backup.
No, I don't agree. That could be right there.
That's good. That's good.
for 2 hours. Yeah.
Sandy. Delton, I promise you, I will give you strong church announcements, strong news and reviews.
And then turn off. Anyway, so
let's extend the invitation.
We're gonna talk
I'm gonna extend the invitation.
We're gonna talk about this next week as we wrap up the show. Yeah, this was sent to us multiple times. So next week, this is what we're gonna talk about. I'm just gonna show it to y'all now so y'all can see it. All right, so for those who were on Facebook, you saw it. Those on radio. What happened? I'm trying to get correct context. I'm trying to find an original video somewhere so I can get some more details on it. But what they said was that this was a young man that saw this opportunity.
No, you were already trying to tell this story from a biased point of view. You said he saw an opportunity. That is not what the status said.
What does it say?
The facts of the case are a widow was proposed to at her husband's funeral. Simple as that. Not a young man saw opportunity. The facts of the case are a woman was a widow. A man was dead. The dead man was her husband. At his funeral, with his coffin present, another man, now I heard it was her pastor or a pastor, because this video is quite old. This video is old and it was in the facts of the thing. However, that is not a fact. What I can say categorically, a man got on his knee and proposed to a woman at a funeral. It is said that the funeral was of her ex-husband or her dead husband.
Terrell said, no, that's your deceased husband. God said to miss your new husband. There's a word. You got to seize opportunities.
I can't.
You only got one shot to not miss your chance.
Because opportunity comes
once in a lifetime.
Well, not in the lifetime of the dead guy.
So I'm gonna do some more research to find out what exactly was happening.
Yeah, I do need to do more research.
Now for me.
But I'm gonna say this. You go first.
What I want to say is I remember you told me a story a few months ago, a few weeks ago, about your mother that was going to a funeral.
Right.
That was months later.
Right.
That person died.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how long the person might have been. Because on the Bahamas, we used to, America is quicker than us. You die on Tuesday, you bury on Thursday, we move on. Bahamas, you buried this week.
At least 3 weeks.
A week and a half later. 2 weeks. Could be 3 weeks.
At latest 3 weeks. Only because it's COVID.
And then we have the funeral. Apparently, in the motherland, certain areas in the motherland, could be months. How long was it that is your uncle?
He died in November. He was buried in March.
That's a whole lot of time for you to find somebody to marry. I'm just saying. From November to March. Jamaica can be a couple of months as well. So Jody just confirmed. And a lot of that time, up and down and you go into the supermarket and you go out and about, you can find your husband. So we'll talk about that next week.
I just want to say my 2 cents before we sign
is?
off. My 2 cents is this. In Bible times, we wouldn't have a problem with this at all.
Oh, no.
And some people live in Bible times. A widow is an outcast. A widow is now a homeless woman. A widow is literally nobody. If you don't have children, if you don't have sons.
Widow.
It looks as if to say they uphold the same principles. Because Jody said her redeemer. That's how it was presented. It was presented as he almost like saves her life by proposing to her. I think Ambassador Devon, who sent this to us, we kind of need to put
along
this
with Princess.
Princess too. This is true. along with Princess, we got to chalk this one up to a culture. We've got to chalk this one up to a culture that we don't necessarily understand or have insight into.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. To say whether it's right or wrong would just be, in my opinion, quite ignorant because they're not from here.
And there are a lot of questions.
They don't do things like
if you
we do
bring in here,
here.
there's always a question of how soon is too soon. Either somebody dies, how soon
No,
start
but
dating.
I think it's the, you know what? I don't think people's issue was the time. The issue was like, uncle, you could not wait till the repast. You could not wait till tomorrow. It is now at the funeral while his coffin is above
It's
ground.
still above ground.
You didn't want to hold yourself, but I think he did it simple, and that's why I feel like doing it at the funeral. There must have been some symbolism based on their culture that we can't appreciate. Because it was celebration. Oh Jesus. Like if you listen to the sound, Jesus. The people them were celebrating. In their minds, this was a deep spiritual moment. So I say leave it alone.
So you say at death, they did part. Like I know that do a part. They say, oh,
I'm out.
Deuces. Thank you, God.
I held up my part of the bargain. I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I waited till you died. In fact, I waited till you were about to go in the ground.
Right
because
about
you've
now.
been dead about a couple of days. At least. Could be a couple of months.
Could be. So anyway, guys, that's it for us today.
And she was weeping and wailing.
She was weeping.
She was weeping and wailing.
And she still said yes. In the midst of all that. She's still able to say yes.
So
yes. Anyway, guys, y'all be safe. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday. Not too much though, because we're still in time of mourning. It's just wine the queen.
You don't be out and about here on Monday.
Not too
just
much,
be
man.
somber in your gatherings, and 5:30 a.m. is the time of
the film games, which is for us is
5:30 a.m. here.
Yeah, for them is 11.
It's 10:30 when people are walking in. You get to see Brave, see what suit he wearing.
Did Mr. Watson go? Anybody know Mr. Watson, man?
That's all Bahamians want to know, Don't mind nothing about the size of the contingent.
That's all we really care about. We just want to be the draft team.
That's all they want to know.
Did go?
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I came ready for this as we close the show.
Oh, you got something? You got something for the show? All right, so we live in skipping on Good Night 3.9 FM is we're reaching for what you got to reach for. We have some great shows for you. We have new times. Marisha comes on from 7 to 11. I'm on from 11 to 3. Pastor Delton comes on 101. Those times are still there. Marisha's Girl Talk on Thursdays at 4 o'clock. And DGMT comes on after 11:30 on every Saturday. And so keep it locked to Good Night 3.9 FM.
It's going to be me on Monday. It's going to be me on Monday morning. My blinds are going to be closed.
Dress with your glasses on.
I'm a poise. But not with this. In black.
Black, bro.
I do have black versions of this.
That you'll be wearing.
I just want you to know I'm ready. In fact, I meant to start the show like this, but we were doing birthdays and anniversaries. Monday morning. Honestly, up until about 2 o'clock, I'm going to be unavailable for phone calls, WhatsApp messages. I'm not going to be.
I'll be dressed right up in bed. I hope you're and wheel. Get your wheel ready to go.
Oh, I'm going Fascinator.
Fascinator?
Yeah.
Black.
Yeah, black, absolutely. I've got a little corsage too.
As you should.
I feel like for the occasion.
As you should.
Long live the king.
Jody said she'll be here in the Windsor after leaving London.
I have some family in Windsor.
Do we know where the repass is going to be? Anybody know where the repass is going to be? Windsor?
Yeah.
All right. I'll be there.
Windsor Castle. It's going to be
castle?
a big people party over there.
They don't have any paper plates? I doubt it. I can't China.
I think I'm going to have to carry fur.
I've been China back.
I think if you carry like Tupperware, it will be too obvious.
Not like babies though. But then I can put this plate back.
The foil will beep in the middle of the deck.
Yeah. So you
might just have to take the plate.
Or Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Ziploc
bags.
Ziploc bags. That works.
But that's the kind of food that's only moist when they serve it to you. If you carry that,
that can't heat up. That. Hey guys, we are out of here. Yeah, you music play in the background.
Oh no, I can't.
Sorry, I do apologize. Y'all be safe. Join us at the Live 100% tomorrow, 8 o'clock at 11:15 in the Wong's Plaza. My goodness, that's going way back. Jesus. CH is on the target.
Wong
Wong
Plaza.
Plaza. And the CA3's Auditorium, Minnie and Ethel Street. That's where we'll be tomorrow. We celebrate our ladies. Our ladies close up.
Oh, lady. Listen, for those of you that were on DGMT last week and saw our advert,
Yeah.
the commercial for our ladies conference, and you did not take advantage of that, you did yourself a disservice. We have had an amazing weekend.
Last
in
night,
convention.
this morning.
As a life lady who's heard the announcements for weeks and weeks on end, it still caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
It still snuck up on me like, oh, Jesus, this is powerful. Oh, it was
But
an
it was
amazing
last
time.
night.
So
Amazing
shout out
last
to
night.
Minister Yasmin, her whole team, to Pastors Denzel and Robin Rowe for leading this wonderful ladies ministry in such an awesome time of revival.
Yeah,
that was revival.
No, it was revival. It was revival.
This weekend has
Definitely
been revival.
It's revival.
Not revival.
And so, because of tomorrow night, because tomorrow morning at Life Produce Center for our ladies weekend. So you feel free to come on down, everybody. Come on, laddie and everybody.
I saw humans moving.
Could be anything. Anyway, guys, y'all be safe. Y'all have a God-filled weekend and a glory-filled weekend. Enjoy your holiday. I've been Delton.
I've been Vera.
She's been Vera, and we are gone. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
What's the law?